If you can afford plain concrete, you can afford printed concrete. A revolutionary system from Quick Imprint Systems Incorporated is available to 4-state home and business owners. We produce results like these at less than half the price of our competitors. If you like what you see, call us today for a free estimate. We'll help you design patios, walks, drives, pool decks, streets, or general landscaping. Get beauty for a fraction of the cost. For services or this system, call Quick Imprint Systems Incorporated.
Back to trucking at 12:15, and we finished this slab by 1 o'clock in front of a large group of spectators. We're just going to show you some of the basics with using the 1 mil poly, and we're going to use our different patterns of the large rollers, but basically just to show you about the open end, closed end, little hand tooling, and we'll go from there. As you can see, we're putting poly down right now. Anytime you've got to add extra sheets of poling, they come in 12 by 400 foot rolls. You just overlap them about 3 inches and lay it down with a soft bristle broom like we're doing right now. See right here, we're going to start our first pass, and it's always a good time, since you've got hand-edged outside forms, we'll snap a chalk line and roll our first pass at 3 or 4 inches away from the edge of the form and hand tool in that single head joint. Doesn't disturb your half-inch edger. We're going to use a chalk line method here, where you'll see the open end on the left-hand side of the picture here. Just snap a chalk line there. As you move the roller over, the solid bead around the closed end will close off those head joints, and you'll have a continuous pattern no matter how long that of a pour you've got. There's never shows any stop or start finishes, and this also enables us to use different patterns in the same pour. Go ahead and pull the roller right off the forms like this. We usually just flip the handle to the guy on the other side, move it down 3 foot, bring your pass back across. We're going to use a Silverdale pattern here in brick, and a lot of times we'll use a straight edge, and you'll see that we've got some little cleats on the bottom of it to raise it up off the surface of the slab, and we're just going to pull a roller against this straight edge. A lot of times when you guys first start out, or you're doing Silverdale slate or brick pattern or stone slab paver, you might elect to use a straight edge like this. It's pretty much mistake proof. As you'll see right here, we're going to change designs, but as far as open end, closed end, it'll work the same every time. These pours, depending on the time of year, it'll be anywhere from 40 minutes from start to finish to an hour and 20 or 30 minutes, depending on cool weather. It's a great cold weather tool. If it's 40, 50 degrees outside, we're going to be able to imprint it 2 or 3 hours quicker than we could get a real nice architectural broom finish on it with knee boarding and grooving. So it's something that you'll want to take a close look at here. Because of the poly, we've got a bridging property there, and the roller is never on any square inch for more than a fraction of a second, so it enables us to get our imprint and go ahead and pull on off the side. You can see we switched to a brick here, and again, take a note, the open end head joints at the top of the screen, and anytime you move the roller over with the closed head joints, then it gives you continuous pours and pattern. see that with the tooling on, we will just go ahead and hand tool on the edges. This is a stone slab paver here, and we're now doing these in random lengths where that there's no stop or start point for them. They'll be anywhere from 22 inches to 16 inches, and it's been very popular for patios and the interiors of businesses, restaurants, homes. We can even grout the joints on these, which enables us to give a tile type look. Again, the rollers weigh 54 pounds. They're aircraft aluminum. They hold 100 pounds of water. Just take your water hose, get the desired amount for the PSI versus the density of the concrete. Take the sandbags, just to go ahead and get some pant legs, fill them up with sand, have a couple of those handy. You can always pick up some extra PSI. If you got no hose, take the creek and fill it up, like we do in the Ozarks. You're seeing some hand tooling here that we might finish right at the edge of the form where the roller bounces over it if we don't get it as deep as we'd like to go ahead and release the water off of a pour. We do these with just a 3/8 convex joiner, and it's easy to do any handwork around columns or pilasters or corner of buildings. As soon as you've finished your imprinting, normally within just a few minutes to 5 minutes, you want to go ahead and peel the poly off. You don't drag it off. You want to just peel it back like pulling a sheet back on the bed, and it'll let it release because of what little bit of moisture content that you've got on the surface will let the poly peel right off. Right here's a rolling jitterbug we want to show you that we use a lot of times. When we first lay the mud down, you can see us finish up screeding over in the corner. This rolling jitterbug's lightweight. It's just a screened material that'll push a little bit of the aggregate down, not much, and let a little bit more fines up. It makes very easy bull floating. You'll see we'll bull float right after the jitterbugging. And we'll go ahead and hand edge everything. Even if we're doing borders or control joints, we just have a nice slip down method for connecting our pours together, and it gives you a good placement for the caulking if necessary, but a very nice looking control joint. A lot of times in hot summer, if we want to bring up a little more moisture just before we put the poly on, we'll run a Fresno like you see right here. Just a round edge Fresno, and it'll wipe out what little bit of bull float marks we have. A lot of times we can just put the poly on, and the soft broom will actually wipe out any bull float mark and ridge. Now remember, don't put your poly on the slab until you're ready to imprint. Go ahead and let it breathe, and normally a lot of times it's within 40-45 minutes from the time that you lay your mud down to time to start imprinting. A lot of times you can depress your finger in the very top surface, and if it's not closing in back around your fingerprint, it's ready to imprint. And you've also got a large window there depending on the amount of water or weight that you might put in. Guys, thanks to you over the past few years and hundreds of questions, I think we can update this video and help you out, answer a lot of questions. I'm going to go over this quickly. You guys can rerun the video anytime and pick this back up, but let me touch on a few important things right here. A lot of times you ask, how do we do a patio and get the roller up against the wall? Well, usually you're going to run the roller parallel with the house. This is the house here, one wall, here's the patio. Set your roller up 4 inches away from the house and make your first chalk line right here. Pull it across parallel. You can go ahead and just take a tooling iron and hand tool in that individual 4-inch joint up against the house. And I'll show you how to do that here in a few moments. But you're just going to run parallel with the house. That'll get all the imprinting done, like this photo you see right here. No borders on this job. We've just run the roller parallel with this back patio, and this is the print here with the Silverdale pattern. If you end up with a wall on 2 or 3 sides, you're going to have to go in the first day and hand form some borders like our brick soldier. Something like what you see right here, where we'll go ahead and individually form and use this brick roller. And it's like this. See, we've got the border going across the house and down this wall of the house. You can go ahead and perimeter the whole job. Still set the roller about 4 or 5 inches away off of your pour side, because you can hand tool this in. It doesn't mess up your edger mark that you've used your 1/2 inch edger here. Just pull it parallel, and this is how we've got to have a place for a man to stand to pick the roller up and move her over it each time. So that's what we're doing right here with the border. You'll see this photograph. We have brick soldiers here and down this side of the house, and the rollers in this direction here, another Silverdale pattern. This is a job we did in Lima, Peru, South America. We're getting brick soldiers monolithically in the same pour. All you're going to do is, we got cardboard cut here that's 16 inches by 40 inches, the same width as these border rollers. And it keeps the big roller from imprinting. When we pass across, you need to use sheet metal. Get some sheet metal made up that you can use as painter shield, as you'll see in the end of the video here. But it keeps the big roller from imprinting. Keep moving them down, and if you can, zero in on this right here. You can see the cardboard has kept the big roller from imprinting, and we've got this border roller back here that we're just hand pushing. So monolithically, brick soldiers, Silverdale slate, and the same pour. We'll tell you about how to color those here in just a little bit. This will kind of give you an example. You can take a shot at some of these jobs. You'll see we've got cobblestone and then brick soldiers, and we can get this done in the same day in the same pour. Right here is an example of a driveway here with one pattern in the brick soldiers, and we've got the brick coming across it. I'm going to explain something to you right quick about a slip down method here. This is what we'll do for continuous pouring. If you can kind of zero in on this, I'll probably do a little drawing for you right quick here. We're going to start at the garage, and we want to pour 200 or 300 foot of driveway. You need to understand this. There's first pour, second pour, third pour, fourth. It depends on the amount of people that you have. But by putting this sheet metal here on the outside edges, I can get the brick and the cobblestone down to the first pour. You get your first truckload out, and we stick a bulkhead in. Here's a cross section. Here's your 2x4 bulkhead right here. I want you to take a 1/2 inch rebar and sleeve it in there like you would on in normal jobs. The only thing different, keep the same truck and truck driver. In about an hour and 15 minutes, you're going to be done imprinting this first pour, and have that truck come back for your second pour. Take these rebar, twist them, and pull them out of there. They're going to be in this bulkhead right here. Twist a 1/2 inch rebar, pull them out. That'll allow you to lay that bulkhead down like taking a riser off a set of steps that you're going to suds in. Have pre-cut number 3 rebar slide up in those number 4 holes. Now you're pinned together, you're ready for your second pour. On this job right here, you can walk all the way around it to mop it, bull float it, hand edge it. You can't hand edge this joint right here because you can't walk on this pour. It's only an hour and a half old. So bridge across here with an aluminum walk plank or an extension ladder or something. Hand edge that. When you're ready for your second pour, you get the poly on there, take the brick border roller, run it right across there. Use your walk plank as a straight edge. Okay? Now you're doing your second pour. I know you'll have to come back some of this because I'm talking fast, but this is how you can keep pouring all day long and have high quality pours and not get too much mud on the ground to keep up with. It's very important. Number 4 dowel, 1/2 inch dowel, leave it in there an hour, take it out, lay the form down, stick a number 3 up in its place. It slides in and out like a greased highway dowel, and it'll cast into your second pour. Gentlemen, I want you to understand about continuous pouring. It's one of the great things able to do with a tool that you don't have to wait for the concrete to set up. Continuous pouring is real important to get quality pours and to pour all day long. There's many times when it's 50 degrees or cooler, you might be on your first, second, third, even to the 4th pour imprinting, and you'd still leave foot tracks an inch deep up here on this first pour. You're not having to sit and wait on it to broom. Very important to understand. Want to go ahead and touch on radiuses now. A lot of you, you're going to see it more and more. Horseshoe driveways, radiuses up at the let-off at the house. Here's a good example. This particular job, large radius, winds back out to the outer road. Let's just look at a horseshoe right here. These are control joints, expansion joints, saw cuts, whatever. The architect or engineer is going, that's a stress point here, 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 here. It doesn't matter if this is broomed, rolled concrete, whatever. What I like to do is you're going to carry the roller with this control joint. So you've got several choices here. If we're going to do a big radius, we can pour a bay, skip a bay, pour a bay, skip a bay, pour a bay, skip a bay. Come back the next day and fill in. If you're a mason and you're going to lay stone here, you don't pay thousands of dollars to have a hottie saw each stone so you fan around this thing. The only sawed stone are happening right at these control joints. So you see what's happening? We're going to run the roller this way, right into this joint. Now we're going to skip a bay and go to here. You're going to go ahead and run the roller with the control joint. So we're going to pour a bay, skip a bay. This is with no borders. If you elect to pour borders, and they're always so much higher dollar looking, and we've got an inexpensive way to color. Let's take a look at this. This is a large driveway project that we had some contractors send in. I've done a drawing for them. Here's the horseshoe coming up to the house, and this wraps around to a big 3-car bay. Just concentrate here just a little bit. We've got brick borders. We know we can get monolithically. But we want to do a brick border across here. So the first day we do these brick borders, these are highways that we can walk on. We can order a truck and pour 2 bays. Order the truck back and get the next 2 bays. You see, we can just keep pouring all day if we'll go ahead and do the 16-inch brick the first day. If you can get in on this photo right here, there's about 25,000 feet. This is as large as a city square, and all of this is imprinted concrete. It's all radius, the whole job. The reason I pour plain gray concrete, I like using 4,000 PSI concrete. Write this design mix down and give it to the ready mix plant. Use 1,650 pounds of sand, 1,330 pounds of rock, 3/4, 7/8, 496 pounds of cement, 74 pounds of fly ash. Do not use any water reducer. Most plants are using some type of a filler in here. The fly ash is not going to hurt you on this mix. You can change this, and you can expand on your concrete. And up to a 6.5 bag mix of cement. This will give you the same break test, and it'll stamp well for you. Just cut back on the large aggregate, add sand in its place. It works fine. 3 different ways to color concrete. You can mix it in the truck. It can cost you up to $1 a square foot. Most of your customers cannot afford this, but commercial jobs and many projects, that's the way you want to go. Certain colors don't cost you near that much. Dry shake, color hardeners, which you broadcast on the surface and bull float in, will run you 38 to 45 cents a square foot. The system that we use and utilize a lot is staining. Staining, sealing, antiquing, sealing. And quick for instance, we're going to do, this whole job in Lima, Peru was done that way. But to give you an idea, we'll color stain here and try to do borders in red to match the brick, or brown to match the stone, gray, blue, green, match the shutters. It doesn't matter. Concentrate the main body of the pours, just like this, either a cobblestone gray stain or plain clear sealer, and antique it. The antiquing will highlight everything and make it look like real stone and clear seal over it. It can take scrapes, scratches, snow shoveling, and if a person elects not to maintain it, it's going to look like a worn stone or worn slate. It works fine. It's the least maintained colored concrete that you can get. If we're talking about a job that's got 2,000 or 3,000 feet of driveway, sidewalks coming off of here, porches, patios, and all I've colored is just the brick borders red. There's only 800 square feet colored, but it looks like the whole 5,000 feet's colored. Everything else, clear seal, antique, and seal. It looks like $1 million, and it costs 12 cents a foot to stain. It costs 7 cents to apply antiquing, and it costs you 4 to 5 cents for a finished sealer. Very inexpensive. Everybody can afford this. It's easy to maintain. If you elect to change these red bricks to green next year, no problem. We told you hand tooling that you might do around the column. We want you to fill in this 4 inches we was talking about. Any type of hand tooling or deepening the joints on the outside edge of a pour, you'll just take a 3/8 by 1/2 inch brick tooling iron. We got to reach out here. We want to do a little bit of fill-in tooling on this patio. You can reach out your patio door. We cleat the bridge across to it. I want to do a little touch-up out here. Take your standard 1 3/4 bull float handles. Okay, just like this. Here's your brick. Tape that tooling onto your bull float handle or jam it in the threaded end, and you've got as much handle as you need to reach out there to do some hand tooling. Anything that you see you might want to do a little bit of touch-up on. It works easy. It'll help you out. Anytime you can bridge across something to do anything, it works fine. But this is an alternative. Another thing I want to touch on right quick, this is especially for you guys in the northern part of the country, freeze and thaw. It plays havoc a lot and has in the past on conventional stamped concrete. I want to put your mind at ease and I want you to understand something. Anytime we have 90-degree joints, like conventional stamping or brick paving, we get freeze and thaw in here, melt, freeze and thaw, melt, freeze and thaw. When it expands in a 90-degree joint, it wants to shear off many times part of our imprint from expansion. Nothing special about us, it's just been a blessing. The roller with poly and the bead on the roller, we get these valley joints where there's no pressure points. Freeze and thaw can lift up out of here. We don't have any pressure points. Also, all jobs with the roller, you've got just as flat of a plane as a broom job. It's easy to snow shovel and to snow plow. We have several cities and state parks doing this. But understand again, we're not fracturing the concrete after it's set and pounding our mats in. We're imprinting this when it's in a plastic stage. And so even our stone and rock that are down in here, we're imprinting this concrete usually within about 45 minutes from the time we've dumped it out of a truck. When you see a job like this, and we've peeled the poly off of it, if I'd stick a knee board or a slider out here and step out on it, I'd sink about 3/4 up to an inch. So realize, it's still plastic enough that I'm shoving rock around, not displacing it after it's in set position. A unique thing has happened with our brick border rollers. We can turn radiuses. We can form radiuses and turn it and get the perfect imprint. Let's take, for instance, a kidney-shaped pool. A lot of times we've got styrofoam or a plastic insert, and we're not doing a coping. And we'll go ahead and make a brick coping. You'll see this a lot, something even similar to this photograph right here. You'll have to set up a form. But let me tell you the advantage of this, especially on a large pool. If you'll set this form up around here, setting 16 1/4 inches away from your styrofoam or your plastic insert, and do brick borders the first day. Do these borders. Here's control joints, just like you're doing cool deck or anything else. We know where it's going to crack at. So depending on where you want them, but here's brick borders. We got it broke up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pours. It's so simple. The next day you got highways to walk all the way around on, wheelbarrow. Men can walk all the way around at the hand edge, do any work that you need to do. Order a truck, pour out a couple of bays. You're going to be done in an hour. Order a truck back and pour out a couple more bays. If you got a big enough crew, you can pour out 3 bays. You can pour out all of them. You can get around each one of them. And so it's real important. You want quality work. You're going to be there all day if you're cool decking anyway. And my point is this, is that you can get this imprinted look quicker than you can do anything else. And I like doing the borders because, again, I'm going to color these borders. I'm going to color the borders red, green, black, blue, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to do a natural cobblestone white, a sable color, an adobe buff, a keystone, a light color so that the heat and the foot traffic doesn't hurt us. Again, remember the slip down method. I want this pin to this to this. And so when you do your borders the first day, put your rebar pins in there. As soon as you get the border printed out with the brick roller, twist them and pull them out of there. The next morning when you show up, slide your number 3 dowels in and you're ready to start pouring. For any of you that are interested in our spray coloring, our staining system, I want to show you what we're using here. We're using a conventional pump-up sprayer. We prefer chafing if we can get it. we take the tips and we get rid of the circular spray tip and we adapt an agricultural tip that will give a fan spray. Now when we're spraying, we'll try to always spray with the pattern, and we'll cover usually 4 or 5 stone or brick, and so we'd be spraying in this motion across the slab. For protection, we use just a regular metal shield when we're trying to protect color to spray to. So in other words, we'll use this for borders or any type of walls. A look here of the darker joints, but then still keeps a light top, because the antiquing will flow off the top of the stone into the joints, and then the pigment will turn back dark. To utilize our staining method and antiquing, you need 2 sprayers, one for solvent-based material, one for water-based. Keep them separate. Fill your sprayer only up half full and put 75 to 100 pumps on it. You'll see after I make a couple of passes across here, I'll stop and put 25 or 30 pumps back on it. Keep it a lot of pressure on it like it's a paint gun. Large projects, you're going to use an airless sprayer possibly. You see the antiquing in the joints here? When you antique something, it should be white and milky in the joints, letting you know that you've got enough on there. We're going to finish with a few shots here of some different jobs that we're going to make available to you in about a 15-minute video. This will be hundreds of thousands of feet of different jobs, about anything that you can imagine running a broom across. We've run a roller across. It's going to sell for $17, but it's going to be very beneficial, I believe, to give to your architects, engineers, or homeowners. About anything they can imagine that they're getting ready to do, they'll probably see in this video. Again, color staining with our system. Stain is going to run you about 12 cents a foot. Sealing, antiquing, somewhere around 12 cents. This is less than 25 cents. It's a product everybody can afford, and we've done very well with this. If you'll just follow our directions and guidance on this, we'll be glad to help you. As we close here, we'd like to thank you for taking time to watch the video. I want you to understand we've worked several years trying to get this system perfected. I think we know about all the ins and outs of about every aspect of it. The roller is patented and the method is patented. We're trying to keep the integrity of the system going out there. If there's any problems whatsoever or any questions, we want you to be sure and give us a call, and we're going to do our best to help you out and get you on the right track. Thank you. My brother Rex, I want you to meet. Between he and I, we've probably done most of the jobs that you see on the video and the brochure. So anything you've got to ask about setting jobs up, control joints, coloring, you'll be able to ask us and have confidence that we'll be able to help you. We do appreciate it, and thank you a lot. I want you to have a face to put with the name. This is my daughter Amber. Many times when you call in here, you'll get her on the line for color orders and different questions on the roller, and she'll be able to help you with anything that you need to know.
Quick Imprint. Hi. Sure. Can I get your name, please? Okay, and your company name, sir? Okay. And the address. Okay. Thanks a lot. You have a nice day.
If you can afford plain concrete, you can afford printed concrete. A revolutionary system from Quick Imprint Systems Incorporated is available to 4-state home and business owners. We produce results like these at less than half the price of our competitors. If you like what you see, call us today for a free estimate. We'll help you design patios, walks, drives, pool decks, streets, or general landscaping. Get beauty for a fraction of the cost. For services or this system, call Quick Imprint Systems Incorporated.